What's good, Commanders fans? Happy Hump Day. So, quick video here. Just want to talk about a couple of updates and also the injury report that came out today at around 4 o'clock, like it usually does. I do want to talk a little bit about the tackle that they signed to the practice squad. He probably won't play at all, but he's needed at this point because looking at the injury report, Andrew Wiley did not participate in practice, and Cornelius Lucas did not participate in practice either. Now, I know Dan Quinn did say some positive things about Andrew Wiley today. I'm trying to find where it's at, but I know he said some things about Andrew Wiley. Yeah, so he said Dan Quinn, this is from John Con. Dan Quinn said right tackle Andrew Wiley was close last week to playing, trending up. On Austin Ekeler, there was a spring in his step. Really pumped to have him back on the field. No word on when he might be activated on Marshon Lattimore. Will be doing rehab work on the side field today. Speed drill. So most likely Marshon Lattimore is not going to play. And like I said yesterday in my Austin Ekeler update video, that he was on the radio with Grand Danny. He said that he did clear some hurdles, which was good news. Today was his first day to have the 21-day window open, the designation to return. And this is the first week that he's eligible to be activated off of injured reserve. What Commanders Wire said that he most likely won't play this week, but he has a good chance to be available in the playoffs, whether we play the Rams, the Bucks, or the Eagles. I actually think it's going to be the Bucks. The Rams, Sean McVay said he's going to play his starters in the first half, and then the second half, they most likely will rest. The Bucks have to basically they're in it, I believe, because the Falcons lost to us. But they had more incentives to win the game on Sunday than the Rams really do. The Rams are going to get in anyway. So I actually feel like there's a strong chance that we will go to Tampa instead of going to LA. Either one I like, but I actually like playing the Bucks a little bit more. I think that matchup's a little bit favorable because Chris Godwin is out for the season. So that's why I think the matchup against the Buccaneers is a little bit more favorable in my opinion. And I think honestly, we can talk about this a little bit later, but I kind of like the matchup against the Bucks. Their defense, they slow down the run game, but they cannot stop the pass, and they couldn't stop Jaden's legs the first time, so I don't see them stopping Jaden's legs again. The only thing is just the running backs have to be better against the Buccaneers for sure. That's the big part there. The defense against Mike Evans, just Mike Evans versus Marshon Lattimore. You know, they hate each other with a passion. They would be happy to go up against each other, so that would be box office to watch those guys in the playoffs. And I really feel like Marshon Lattimore, a healthy Marshon Lattimore, would do an excellent job on Mike Evans. So I would love to play at Tampa Bay. I would love with a passion. So let's get back to the task at hand here. It's easy to get ahead of us because the playoffs are coming up for sure. And so let's talk about this guy Max Pircher real quick. So he's a big fella, man. I mean, you can say anybody in the NFL is a big fella, but this guy's a big fella. He stands at 6'8", 325 pounds, undrafted 2021, came from the international, what's it called? It's the IPP International Pathway Program. He is a Super Bowl champion. He was on the practice squad with the Rams. He's an Austrian Bowl champion in 2019. He is also a CEFL Bowl champion as well in 2019. So this guy's been a champion everywhere he goes. So, I mean, maybe he can rub off some of that good champion vibes to us and that good champion energy. Just keep this guy on the practice squad because it looks like everywhere he goes, he wins for the most part. 40-yard dash, 5.57. Doesn't really matter for a left tackle. I mean, it matters, but 20-yard shuttle, 4.78. So he's somewhat of an athlete. He's pretty athletic. Three-cone drill, 8.22 seconds. Vertical leap, 31.5 inches. That's pretty athletic for a 6'8" guy that is heavy set like that, 325 pounds. Broad jump, 8 feet, 10 inches, which is solid. And the bench press, 22 reps. 33.5 arm length, 9 3/4 inches for a hand span. 6'7" and 5/8. Like one site lists him as 6'7", another site lists him as 6'8". So he's a big guy. One site, Wikipedia has him as 309 pounds. Played for the Rams, practice squad, Detroit Lions practice squad, Seattle Seahawks practice squad, Commanders right now practice squad, and the Swarco Raiders. It's so crazy. I'm seeing 2025 online right now. It's insane to just see that number. Like it really is. Today really is the first day of the year. So it's just insane to really see that number 2025 pop up on the screen. 25 years old, from Italy. He played right tackle. eventually winning the 2019 Central European Football League and the 2019 Austrian Bowl championships with the Raiders. With the Rams in May 2021, the LA Rams signed Pircher as part of the NFL's International Player Pathway Program, making him the second member of the Tyrol Raiders to join the NFL through the Pathway Program. After the Sandro Platts Gummer, Pircher was a member of the Rams practice squad for 2 seasons, including their victory in the Super Bowl, making Pircher a Super Bowl champion. Then he's with the Lions on their practice squad as well. He was signed to a reserve future contract. And then with the Seahawks, he was signed by the Seahawks. He was waived on August 27th and re-signed to the practice squad, but he was released a few days later. So he's bounced around. He's been nothing but a practice squad guy. I mean, his story is cool and all that. But with Wiley and Lucas on the injury report and possibly not playing, you just need that body on the practice squad. And that's just where we're at right now with at the end of the season. So, hey, let's see what this guy does, man. I'm intrigued. Like I said, I'm always intrigued with practice squad signings. I really am. Whether they touch the field or not, you just never know what happens. Excuse me, next man up. Mentality. He has not played a single snap in the NFL. He's been on the practice squad for every team that he's been on. So keep that in mind. He's a big guy, though. That's all I'm going to say. He's a big guy. So he's a champion. So that's the only thing I can say really about him. There's really not much to go off. He's playing in the preseason, but that's not regular season football. So we'll see what happens with that. Marshon Lattimore, let's get back to him. He like I said, he's not going to play. He's not going to play this week, and I'm not super upset about that. Of course, this season him not playing has been disappointing, but he's here for the long haul. He's here for the playoff game. Hopefully he plays on the playoff game. If he doesn't play on the playoff game next week, excuse me, that will be very disappointing. It will be, but we do have him under contract for the next 2 seasons after this season. So those are the positive things. But like I said, if he's not available for the playoffs, which we really, really need him, kind of honestly right now, we won a bunch of games without Marshon Lattimore. We only won 1 game with Marshon Lattimore. So that's kind of the way you have to evaluate and look at it. We still have won 10 games without him. So look at it that way. In the Eagles game, we had him for 3.5 quarters, or the fourth quarter, a little bit of the fourth quarter. So you kind of have to move that way. He's more of a luxury. He's a need, of course, but he's like a luxury player for us right now. And that's kind of the way you have to look at it and not crash out and be like, oh my gosh, we traded for damaged goods. But it's great to have him. And next year he should be available for 17 games. But right now, I mean, like this hamstring, and I think it was either Adam Schefter or Mike Garafolo or Aaron Rappaport, they call it a chronic hamstring injury. So that's really not good at all. And but like I said, I really hope he's available and ready for that first round game, for the wild card. That's all I'm gonna say, and the whole playoffs. Other guys, Austin Ekeler, man. Excuse me. It's really good news though to see that he participated. He was a full participant in practice too. That's big. That's really huge. That is huge because the same thing happened with Jonathan Allen. Last week he was a full participant and then he actually ended up playing. I don't think he's going to play because they're gonna hold. I think they're just going to hold him out and rest him this game and let Chris Rodriguez rock out, let McNichols rock out. Kind of just decipher like the week of the playoff game which running back they're going to deactivate and put on either a healthy scratch or on the practice squad. Like what are they going to do with Chris Rodriguez? What are they going to do with Jeremy McNichols when Austin Ekeler comes back? Because they're not going to clearly. B-Rob's going to start. He's the starter. Are they going to keep 4 backs active? Like let's say Chris Rodriguez goes crazy again, like he did in that Titans game, and goes for like 80 yards on the ground against the Cowboys. And it's like, how can you sit Chris Rodriguez when he's been balling like this, breaking tackles, hurdling guys? That's just not in our best interest to sit a guy playing good football. Like that is hot right now when B-Rob's not hot. B-Rob is he's struggling right now. He's not playing his best football. I think he's a little burnt out. I'm not gonna say burnt out, but you can see the wear and tear on his body right now. So other guys, Jonathan Allen did not participate. A lot of guys had rest. Tyler Biadasz, ankle injury, did not participate. That's not good. De'Ami Brown, hamstring injury, did not participate. That's not good. Jameson Crowder, rest, did not participate. Zach Ertz, rest again, did not participate. Cleveland Farrell, rest, did not participate. Dante Fowler, rest, did not participate. Excuse me, Marshon Lattimore did not participate. Hamstring. Cornelius Lucas, groin, did not participate. That's not good. Terry McLaurin, rest, did not participate. Tyler Owens, ankle, did not participate. Andrew Wiley, groin, did not participate. Jordan McGee, hamstring limited, and then Austin Ekeler concussion full participant. So that's really good news on Austin Ekeler's part, for sure. But Dan Quinn said, we haven't played our best ball. No, he said, it's great to have him back. There's a spring in his step for sure, and we'll go through the whole process, but we're really pumped to have him back. So that's really, really good news for Austin Ekeler, that Dan Quinn is excited to have him back and talking him up like this, because if he didn't believe he was going to be back for at least the playoffs, then he wouldn't be saying all this stuff. And last week he brought up Austin Ekeler's name too, so he really believes that Austin Ekeler's going to come back. And he's a big part of our offense. Yak, yak, yak. I talk about yak all the time. He is a yak guy. We could definitely use him to just have some pop. He's good in pass protection. I wouldn't have him returning kicks, but as a receiver, he adds a different dynamic to our team for sure. And it was Sam Fortier who came up with this stat. Where is it at? And then I'll wrap it up for today. He said, we don't run a lot of two-back sets without him. He said, with Ekeler on the field this year, the Commanders have used two running back sets 19% of the time, without him 2%. So that speaks volumes with the way that Cliff Kingsbury calls the offense. As always, guys, Hell's Commanders, have a great day. Peace.